This is a simple and clever storage solution that William came up with, and this is a miniature version of that same storage solution. And today we're going to use the iPad and these miniature connectors and coffee stirrers to model this build so you can recreate it if you've got a similar situation and want to store some lightweight objects. So this is really cool. Like I said, this is from William. He used 3/4 inch empty conduit, which if you don't know, you get off the shelf at places like Lowe's, Home Depot, Ace Hardware, and different hardware and home improvement stores. And the pieces of conduit are connected together with these steel connectors that we manufacture at MakerPipe in upstate South Carolina. And we also make these 3D printed connectors that you can model projects with and see how things are going to go together and get ideas, and also just kind of play around with kind of what you're thinking about building. And so I'm going to use the mini models to recreate this build and just kind of show you guys how to put it together, and also use the iPad and kind of show you the different things. We only have this one picture, which is totally fine because we can get the whole idea, and it's really cool. Essentially, William has this unfinished basement with these exposed I-beams, and what's really clever is we can see here the ledge of the I-beams here on both sides, and so he's basically just utilizing that to create this hanging storage solution that can easily be removed or moved around. So essentially, he's just got two pieces of EMT conduit running from one side of the other that are just resting on the ledge, going from one side to the other. And he built also has the horizontal piece going from the front to the back on this frame. And then the connectors he's using, wow, that line is horrible. The connectors he's using to join this together, it looks like he's using T connectors on the front and then 90-degree connectors back here, which work similarly, except, all the connectors work similarly. They're clamp designs, and they just rely on friction fit, so you don't have to worry about welding or drilling through pipes or anything like that. The T connector, though, is made for connecting two pieces of conduit. So you've got the piece running continuously through the top half of the connector, and then this red line or this piece of conduit is terminating inside of the connector. So he's got two of those T connectors and then these two 90s. It works kind of similarly, where you have a through pipe that runs continuously through the connector, as we see there in the middle. And we've got this red piece of conduit going to the other side of the build, and that terminates inside of there. But then we've also got these vertical pipes coming out of the 90, and they terminate inside of there, and those go down to the rest of the frame. Now, because we don't have any other pictures, we don't see the rest of the frame, but I'm fairly certain it's just mirrored on the bottom. And we can go to the mini model now to kind of see how this is put together, and I'll kind of take it apart a little bit so we can see. So essentially what we just looked at was this top half of the build, where essentially you've got the two pieces of conduit that are resting on the exposed I-beams there, and then he's got the T connectors on this side grabbing on, and these function very similarly to the connectors. The connectors are usually multiple pieces that clamp together, but you do get the same functionality, and they're designed the same way in terms of the through pipe and the terminating pipe. So the T connector that grabs on, this is meant to be the through pipe connection. That grabs on, and that allows this piece of conduit to run to the I-beam and sit on there. And so he's got those two T connectors doing that. And then he's got the long horizontal pipes that we looked at going to the other side of the frame with the 90-degree connectors on the other side connecting there. And then, of course, the two pipes coming down at an angle, which is what we've got here. And then I think it's just mirrored on the bottom. So I think directly below these pieces of conduit, he's got 90-degree connectors down here grabbing onto this horizontal pipe. And he's got two of those. And then just going to the other side, he's got T connectors. So pretty much the same build mirrored. And this kind of design is really simple, but it's resting and supported in all four corners. And he said he has some lightweight objects down there, maybe less than 100 pounds, which is definitely good for this design. If it was going to be something heavier than that, then I would recreate the whole. I would do 90s in these corners and then just make a box frame that this sits in. That would add a lot more strength. That way you don't have a lot of weight down here kind of pulling this frame down, and you're relying on the conduit in that case. But for lightweight stuff, what he's doing I think is perfectly fine, as long as people aren't jumping on there and, jungle gym kind of thing. But I think that works out great. But as we can see here, this is kind of a mirrored top and bottom design, and it works really well. And he said he's getting a kick out of it, and he expects it to be a long-term solution. So nice and simple. What is that? 8 connectors, and looks like just 4 T's and 4 90s if you make it exactly how he did it. And just a great way to utilize that space if you have an unfinished basement with similar I-beams, or anywhere really, in like a shed or somewhere that might have I-beams exposed like that. Like a really great solution for storage. So really awesome. Thanks so much, William, for sharing this. If you want to see his post, I'll link it down below, and you can leave any comments there or on this video if you have any questions. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like and consider subscribing. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.